revoke. I haven't had a chance to talk to my client yet. What I would prefer is to sort out what we're going to do about the big felony case and kind of carry this one. He's not going anywhere. They can't make bond.
Mr. Harpold? Stephen frozen. Mr. Harpold? I just vanished.
I saw Stephen.
Yeah, let's wait. It looks like he lost his internet. Bless you. Do me a favor. Go back there and ask Harpold if he'll just come in here. Did you hear any of Mr. Ellison's presentation?
No, it came in and it immediately went back out. It came in.
Okay. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ellison, but the short version is he's requested a continuance based on the fact that he's requested a motion to withdraw the sexual assault case. And there's been a plea offer presented by the state to him, but he has not had time to present that to his client. So what's the state's position? And you may have to step closer so we can hear you.
I guess the state's position would be that I understand that he filed a motion to withdraw. I saw that when it was filed. With that, I think that's primarily with relation to the other more intense case, the pending manner. I would just say that we're ready to proceed on the two motions to revoke, but just leave it to the court's discretion.
These two were originally set for a contested hearing back in June, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, for purposes of the motions to proceed, the court's going to deny your oral request for continuance, and we're going to go ahead and proceed on the motions to proceed today, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Overgaard, you understand you're before the court today on two motions to proceed?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you're having a contested hearing before the court?
A contested hearing on which one?
On both of your motions to proceed in B-2323 and B-2322.
Yes, sir.
Before the court proceeds, the state would just like to notify the court that it will be withdrawing condition A on both causes and the exhibit A.
Did you hear that, Mr. Ellison?
It's not really. It was kind of garbled.
State's moving to withdraw condition A and the allegations on both cause numbers.
Okay.
Give me just a minute to make a docket entry. Mr. Overgaard, you're in a separate location from your attorney, but you're both present on Zoom today. If at any time during the proceedings you feel like you need to confer with your attorney, if you have a question that's asked of you that you need to confer with your attorney, then what you need to do is notify the court. The court will place you in a breakout room and you'll have an opportunity to talk to your attorney, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any objection to proceeding by electronic means today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Overgaard, do you have any objection to proceeding by electronic means today instead of in person?
No, sir.
Your Honor, could I ask Mr. Harpold to tell me again what his offer is?
I'd rather not right now in front of the judge because he'll be assessing punishment.
Oh, you're right. Could you text me?
I can text you.
Yeah, let's pause for a
Okay.
minute while y'all do that.
Steve, does he have my cell phone? Stephen, do you have my cell phone?
He's looking to see right now.
Okay. I'm hoping we can resolve this without a contested hearing.
Okay. I don't, Rick. Could you just tell it?
Yeah, 832-423-7140.
All right. I just sent you a text.
Okay. And these are state jail felonies, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can we go on a breakout room, Your Honor?
You can. We're off to a roaring start. Looks that way, doesn't it?
He says we have a deal. So if we can just go ahead and get him a plea.
Okay, I can go through the old, well,
Yeah.
let me wait till he's back on here. Well, we're missing the jail. There we go. Okay, Mr. Ellison, you're muted.
All right. Mr. Harpo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. You sent me a text. If that deal is still on the table, we got a deal.
That's fine. I would propose at this time, just for the sake of solidifying it, that we ask the judge to proceed forward with just asking him how he pleads as to the amended conditions.
Okay. Agreed.
That we can state the agreement after he pleads true.
Yes.
I can do that orally, but you understand at some point we're going to generate the documents and go back through the documents.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And Your Honor, I can go out to the jail today and get them signed.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Overgard, the situation's changed a little bit. Do you understand you're before the court today, and that it's my understanding that you and your attorney have worked out a plea agreement with the state?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have any objection to the court orally going through the admonishments with you? And then Mr. Ellison will present the written admonishments to you later, just so that we can solidify your plea.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection to that?
No, sir.
Do you understand you have the right to have a contested hearing before the court?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right for your attorney to cross-examine the state's witnesses and to call your own witnesses?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand you have a right to appeal?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you've worked out a plea agreement, you'll be waiving all three of those rights?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, you understand that you have a right to remain silent. Nobody can require you to testify against yourself, but you can in fact waive that right. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ellison, do you want to confer with your client to make sure he understands his rights, waivers, and admonishments?
He does, Your Honor. We discussed that.
Mr. Overgard, are you okay with proceeding today?
Yes, sir.
What's going to happen is I'm going to go through each of the allegations that were made against you in each of these cases. After I recite each allegation, I need you to tell me if you're going to plead true or not true, okay?
Yes, sir.
In cause number B20-322, condition D2, the allegation is you failed to report as required by the on or about the 5th day of January 2018 and the 12th day of July 2018. True or not true?
True.
Condition IA, you failed to pay $413 in court costs and you're currently arrears in the amount of $413.
True.
Condition IB, you failed to pay fines in the amount of $500 and you're currently arrears in the amount of $446.
True.
Condition IC, you failed to pay the community supervision fees in the amount of $60 per month and you're currently delinquent $780.
True.
Condition ID, you failed to pay $540 in attorney's fees and you're currently arrears in the amount of $540.
True.
Condition IE, you failed to pay $50 to the Crime Stoppers within 6 months and you're currently arrears in the amount of $50.
True.
Condition K, that after defaulting in monthly court-ordered payments, you failed to file a sworn statement to the court for the following months. In 2019, it's April through December, and in 2020, it's January through March.
True.
Condition L, you failed to perform 200 hours of community service and you're currently delinquent in the amount of 84 hours.
True.
Condition N, you failed to pay restitution in the amount of $180 and you're currently delinquent in the amount of $158. Condition P, you failed to submit to random UAs on or about the 8th day of February 2018, the 27th day of April 2018, 10th day of May 2018, the 9th day of August 2018, the 10th day of October 2018, 22nd day of October 2018, the 14th day of December 2018, the 9th day of January 2019, the 26th day of February 2019, March 18th of 2019, April 11th of 2019, May 10th of 2019, June 4th of 2019, and you failed to submit to hair follicle drug testing in November of 2018 and May and November of 2019.
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
Yes, sir. True.
Condition T, you failed to successfully obtain your GED.
True.
And cause number B20-323, condition IB is that you are currently delinquent in the amount of $467 on your fines,
True.
that you failed to pay $968 in attorney's fees and you're in arrears in the amount of $968.
True.
Condition IE, that you failed to pay $50 in Crime Stoppers fees and you're currently delinquent in the amount of $50.
True.
Condition N, that you failed to pay restitution in the amount of $180 and you're currently delinquent in the amount of $130.
True.
Condition P, looks like you failed to submit to random urinalysis, and it appears to be all the same dates we previously went through. Would you like me to go through those dates again?
No, you're good. That's true.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir, no problem. It's a lot of dates.
And condition T, that you failed to obtain your GED.
Yes, sir, true.
Is there a plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Parties have confirmed reporting to the court 1 year state jail on each case to run concurrent.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Ellison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Overgard?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to follow that plea agreement once the documents are conformed?
Yes, sir.
All right, then what's going to happen at this point is that the DA will prepare the documents. They're going to forward them to Mr. Ellison. Mr. Ellison will be out there to see you and go through all these same documents again, okay?
Yes,
If you have
sir.
any questions at all, be sure and ask, and we can always come back before the court.
Yes, sir.
Any questions at all?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you too.
My excuse, Judge.
You are. Thank you, Mr. Ellison.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Will Miss Lowry be next?
She will.
Thank you.
I understand. Like Misty Airline and LG Stylo 6. Whoever that is. Okay. Yeah. What's our next? All we need to do is go through and reaffirm the documents. Okay. Hi, Miss Lowry.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but we cannot see you, Mr. Ferguson.
Oh. There it goes. Can y'all see me now?
We can.
Okay, I'm sorry that you have to see me.
You want to proceed from there, or do you want to jump back on Latham?
I can try from here because Latham's on Latham.
Okay. Mr. Harpold is actually standing in the back. Originally, he was in the jury room on Mr. Latham's, and we lost the internet connection. So we're improvising if you don't have any objection to that, Mr. Ferguson.
I have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Paul, you ready? Court will call cause number B20-115 and B21-236, the state of Texas versus Laura Lowry, for purposes of a sentencing hearing. Let's say the parties.
Fence is ready.
And I don't have the date. What date is your play? You have the files?
Your Honor, and I did bring over some additional information. Hopefully you got it.
I have it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I took it home last night and read it, so we're good.
Judge
Thank you.
Emerson,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Judge Emerson,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna sign out and sign back in because we're getting, we're behind.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
The jail's not coming back on. There we go. Is that better?
As of right now, yes, sir.
If you have any more internet problems, just wave your hand in front of the screen or something.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're more than welcome. Ms. Lowry, did you hear the court call the cases?
No, sir, I did not.
Court will call cause number B19-809, B2115, and B21-236, State of Texas versus Laura Lowry. For purposes of a sentencing hearing, what say the parties?
Defense is ready, Your Honor. I didn't hear Mr. Harpold.
State's ready.
Ms. Lowry, do you recall being back before the court on July 23rd of this year?
Yes, sir.
And you recall at that time you were admonished of your rights and you entered a plea in each of these cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall that a pre-sentence investigation was requested? Your pre-sentence investigation was performed, and then we're here today, ready to proceed.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objections to proceeding by electronic format?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Harpole?
Judge, I'm not aware of any objections to the PSI on the statement that PSI becomes public record.
Mr. Ferguson, did you hear that?
No, sir.
Judge, I'm not aware of any objections to the PSI, so at this time I'll discuss the PSI become a part of the record.
Your Honor, we just have a few corrections to the PSI. If you would like, I can go ahead and go through those right quick now.
Please.
Page 2, it states that she minimized, and I can explain that whenever I call her as a witness. Sorry. Page 1, her driver's license number was incorrect, and her correct driver's license number is 01.
Wait. Hang on. We're on live YouTube broadcast.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. I wasn't even thinking about that. I will, with the court's permission, I will draw up a letter before I come back to the courthouse, and we can put it in the file that way. Would that work?
Any objections?
No objection.
That would work.
And I will just bring these other corrections as well to save us time here. if
Well,
that's okay.
are the other corrections related to sensitive information?
I don't believe that the others, yeah, actually they are. They're dealing with medical issues, some medical record issues. Then I can just bring the correct medicine is what it is, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't have any objection to that, Your Honor. It sounds like it's all just technical kind of things, not substantive stuff. So that's fine with me if he produces that to the court and you include it in the record.
And Mr. Ferguson, as part of the PSI, did you want to include this additional packet?
I did, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Though I haven't reviewed it, I don't have any objection.
Would you like to take a look at it real
No,
quick?
sir, I'm fine.
Pre-sentence investigation, including the additional packet of information provided by the defense yesterday, will be admitted. Starville?
Judge, at this time, we would just rest upon the PSI report.
Mr. Ferguson?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call, I should have two witnesses in the waiting room. Pastor Mike Williams.
I have an LG Stylo 6 that's unidentified, and then I have, looks like somebody by the name of Misty Erland.
I have no idea which is which. Would you like me to call them or do you
Please.
just want
No, I don't want to randomly start punching on things. That's how you end up on the national news.
to?
Misty Erland's a part of my church. Which one? Misty Erland's a part of my church. She's just speaking from the pastor. Okay.
Judge, Miss Lowry says that Ms. Erland is part of the church.
Do you know what the name of your phone is? Okay, all right. Thank you much. We're fixing to call. I'm going to call Pastor Mike first, and then we're going to call you, okay? All right, bye.
Okay, let me stop you real quick, Mr. Ferguson. What did you say, Miss Lowry?
I was letting Miss Espinoza know that Misty Erland was a part of my church. So I was just letting her know that she was part of the witness coming
Okay.
on.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah.
Ferguson.
I believe that will be Pastor Mike Williams, Your Honor, and that's who I would like to call first.
Thank you. Do you want to call your second witness while their phone continues to try to load?
I can do that, Your Honor. I call Meg Massey.
Miss Massey, can you hear me? Miss Massey, can you hear me? There we go. Miss Massey, can you please unmute?
Okay, sorry about that. There.
That's okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, will you please raise your right hand? In the matter before the court, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Can you please give the court reporter your full name, and will you please spell your last name?
My name is actually Johnny Meg Miller, Miller.
Thank you. May proceed.
Ms. Miller, I apologize. I had a Massey written down right next to your name, and that's why I was calling you Massey. I do apologize. Ms. Miller, are you familiar with Laura Lowry?
I am.
And how do you know Ms. Lowry?
I worked with her at a drug and alcohol treatment center.
Okay. And was that the Serenity House?
Yes.
Okay. And where are you working now?
I'm at the Serenity House. I'm currently the Director of Human Resources.
Okay. And how long have you known Laura?
Oh gosh, 2000. She started in 2014, 2016, I think. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so a few years, 5 or
Mhm.
6 years, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. And in what capacity did you work with Laura?
She was the operations director, and I was in Fredericksburg, and I was the compliance director. So we did a lot of facility inspections together. We talked on the phone a lot. She was in Fred and I was in Abilene. But she'd email me every day. She was Johnny on the spot with anything that needed to be done. All the inspections, she was a hard worker. She was just always there. So we pretty much had daily communication.
Okay. And are you familiar with what purpose we're here today?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you know all about the charges and everything that has been alleged against Ms. Lowry?
Yes.
Okay. And we're here today. We're at a sentencing hearing where the judge will hear evidence and then he'll make a determination on whether to violate her probation and send her to TDC or to continue her probation under certain conditions as she has requested, or how to handle this whole situation. Now, in the past several months, you've had a lot of communication with Laura, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is the main substance of the communication that y'all have had?
She just wants to be her old self again. She wants to get back to where she was. I mean, when she worked here, she did great. She had a strong program. She had a great support center, and she's got a young daughter, and that was her world. And she was so proud of everything she had accomplished. And I honestly don't know what happened, because like I said, she worked a strong program, and I think maybe she just fell out of it and needs to get back in.
Okay. And you're still with Serenity House, as you stated. Do you know how successful Serenity House is with their treatment programs?
We don't have any stats,
Oh,
but
that's okay.
We do have stats, but we don't do comparative stats.
Oh, we don't do comparative. I've got the CEO right here with me. We don't do comparative stats.
Okay, that's quite all right. How long is your program there at Serenity House?
Tentatively 30 days.
30 days. And when you say tentatively, does that mean that it could go longer if necessary?
Yes.
Okay. And has Laura spoken with you about attending your program?
She has. She's spoken to myself and Cindy Weir, the CEO, and she has a bed whenever she wants to come.
Okay, so she's already been accepted. And would that be a bed in Fredericksburg, or would that be a bed in Abilene?
We'd bring her to Abilene, just because
Okay.
that's, she had worked in Fredericksburg.
Okay. And do you, everything you know about Laura and the condition of her legal status and her past or her history of substance abuse, do you believe the Serenity House would be able to help her and help her get back to that position of strength that she was once in?
I absolutely do. I do.
And once she completes Serenity House, do y'all have aftercare? Is there, do y'all refer her to places?
Actually, yes, we're not just a 30-day program. It's, inpatient residential is kind of like going to the ER. We just want to get you stabilized. There's a whole, we always, even if they're moving out of town, we hook them up with peer recovery coaches. Where they are, we find them, and our coaches help them get set up with that. That's a 2-year program. We always recommend at least 90 days of outpatient following treatment. It's not just 30 days and then you're cured. That would be nice, but that's not how it works. And so we have a lot of people here and a lot of resources all over the state of Texas, and we give as many referrals as we can. And we want you to succeed, and it's not just a short, even though you're here for a short time, it's not a short time thing. We get you set up with AA, NA, some kind of 12-step program, because you've got to have that maintenance.
Okay. And are you familiar with Laura's plan that she had created for herself?
I am somewhat familiar.
Okay.
I know what she was telling me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She wanted to have that accountability. And she was
Okay.
very big on that.
I think you were breaking up.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What was the first part of that about her plan?
I know she wanted to have accountability. She was really mad. She had spoke about drug court, and she wanted that. I think it's, and I looked into it. I've heard there's weekly drug tests, and you have to meet with someone a certain amount of time. There's just a whole lot of accountability, and that's what she feels like she needs.
Okay, I assume you're talking about the drug court program held by the 198th. As a matter of fact, it's the Honorable Judge Emerson here who holds that. Is that the one you're speaking of?
It was kind of choppy, but I think so.
Okay. Do you believe that the drug court program would be a good step for Laura?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I do.
Okay. And in your program, how is there transportation to get her there? Is that something that she arranges for herself?
To get her to act, we transport.
Okay. And so if the court was to allow her to attend the drug court program and then go into your program, when would she be able to be transported there to your program?
I'm sorry, it was chopping up. I think, are you asking when she could come to treatment?
Yes.
We have a bed for her at any time.
Okay, so if the court was to order her to go to treatment there and into the program, she would be able to attend tomorrow or even tonight. Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
I
she would
didn't hear
have
that
to
answer.
she would have to get. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. If she can get a rapid COVID test, she can come anytime. That's really the only requirement we have. We've got her paperwork and we've got her all approved.
Okay. And So the rapid COVID test is the only thing, aside from being incarcerated, the only thing that prevents her from entering your programs, let's say tonight.
I mean, if she can get it, she can enter.
Okay. Is there anything about your program that you feel that the court should be aware of? Is it an all-female program, all male? Or, well, it wouldn't be all male if you're allowing Laura, but
It's both, but they're housed separately, and core groups are separate. We've been in business for 35 years. I know we don't have comparative statistics, but I know I get calls all of it because we're up at administration, people saying they've been clean and sober since the facility, and that's just a great thing.
right. So let me ask you this, you know that if she was to come to your program, Laura would be on probation and be strictly governed by the rules of probation and whatever rules the court puts on her.
Yes.
Okay, and if she was to violate any of those rules, no matter how small, would you contact our probation officer and inform them of that?
If she would sign, yeah, when they're on probation, we usually have them sign when they come, allowing us to consent to speak with their probation officer.
Okay, the proper
It's
release
part of their
form.
treatment plan is actually is working. We work with the probation department.
Okay. Well, Your Honor, at this time, I think I'll pass Ms. Miller.
Mr. Harpole?
Yes, ma'am. Just a quick question for you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay. Everything that you just
I
represented.
can hear you.
Okay. Everything you just represented to the court about the treatment options for Miss Lowry, those would all be available if she were to go to the pen and then get out and come to y'all, right?
How long would that be? Go to the
Well, it just-
pen?
The penitentiary, if she went in for several years, I mean, you would still be there to help her, right?
I would assume if I'm still here.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking that your
They just,
facility's been going on for years now. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be around for years in the future, right?
I'm gonna have to object, Your Honor. I think it's really kind of calling for speculation. She doesn't know what the future would hold for her
Well,
facility.
she sure doesn't know what the future would hold because the judge hasn't made her decision yet. So she's been speculating the whole time. Yes, ma'am.
what if I'm speculating? I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you this then. In a year from now, would your services still be available to Miss Lowry?
I think that's still speculation. Your Honor.
I cannot guarantee what's going to happen in a year and now. 2 years ago, I didn't think that I might have to get vaccinated to be able to have a job. I didn't think I'd have to have a mask to go out of the house. So if you want me to guarantee something 4 years down the road, I can't do that.
No, I didn't ask you to guarantee. I just asked you if that would be available, but you seem to be reluctant to answer it. So I have no more questions for you. Thank you.
Because I guaranteed. Oh.
Any additional questions, Mr. Ferguson?
Ms. Miller, you don't know what beds would be available in a year, 2 years. You don't know if she would qualify in a year.
No, I can't promise. I know we have an open bed now that we're holding for her, but then what's going to happen? I can't promise to have a bed for her.
Right. Okay. That's all I had, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
Mr. Williams, can you hear us? Can you please unmute yourself?
As the prosecuting attorney trying to want to send her to a pen.
Miller, Ms. Miller. I was just going to tell you, you had to mute your mic.
There.
There we go. Mr. Williams, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Thank you.
Will you please raise your right hand? In the matter before the court, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you please spell your last name for the court reporter?
Williams.
Thank you. You may proceed.
How are you doing today, Pastor Mike?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm sorry, my name is actually Misty. Apparently my youth director has signed in last. I didn't know that, but
That's all right. That's
I am
okay.
who I am.
So, first of all, what is your job? What are you doing now as employment?
I am the pastor of Zion Lutheran Church, and I know has come to our worship services. Her daughter comes to our Sunday school and church. That's how I've gotten to know her. We spend time with a lot of groups in AA and NA. We have meetings here every day, so I've been working with a lot of people in the program.
And you've worked with jail programs in the past too. Is that correct?
I've been a chaplain at the Denver County Jail for a couple of years, and before moving here. And I also teach. I'm one of the volunteers at Christian Men's Job Corps.
That's wonderful. And they have a good program. Is that correct?
Great program, yeah.
Yeah. And your experience dealing with people with criminal charges, does that help you help future people? I mean, with your knowledge?
Well, I would assume, yeah. I've worked with enough addicts and alcoholics to kind of have an idea of where they're coming from, what they need. I really truly believe AA is a godsend, and I participate quite a bit in that. I do a lot of fifth step in the program. So I think I have a fairly good understanding of the mindset of the addict or the alcoholic. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in your time with working with Laura, have you worked with her on her substance abuse, trying to help her keep clean or become clean even?
Yeah. Our relationship is recent, but yes, we've certainly talked. I don't think there's been anything intentional. It's been pretty much when we are together and we have conversations.
Okay.
Obviously, she needs something much more. How should I say? There needs to be much more accountability for her, because she's one of those that has difficulty.
Right.
Staying.
Accountability is kind of the theme for the day, actually. And providing her that accountability, do you think if she had that while on probation, it would help her stay on the straight and narrow?
Well, I believe that anybody who really wants to get clean or sober will be able to. But I also am a firm believer that in the program, you have to have two things. One, you have to have a desire, and two, you have to have God. And with those two, you work the program. I've seen it be successful. I've also seen it fail. And we usually say that they're just simply not ready yet. And I'm a firm believer that the more people you surround her with who are sober, you're better off. So.
Okay. Are you familiar with the 198th District Court Drug Court Program?
No, I'm not. I've heard of it, but I don't really know exactly what it details.
Okay. It's an intensive probation where they are monitored heavily. And I mean, she'd be tested, I believe, weekly, and meet with the court, I believe, weekly,
Mm-hmm.
at least for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe that intensive of a program would be good for Laura?
Oh, yeah, I believe that to be true. She absolutely needs that kind of supervision right now. It's going to take time for her to, I think, to come to terms with her alcoholism and her addiction. And the more we intervene, you might say, I think that's what moves people forward. That's what we want to do, is to get them to a place where they can live free of this disease. So, yeah, I think that would be helpful.
And now you there at Zion Lutheran Church, do y'all have programs? Do y'all do AA there? Do you have counseling?
Yeah, what we do is we rent space. However, with that being said, I like to associate with them. I go to meetings once in a while, open meetings. And I have a lot of good friends in the program. So, you know, as a church, we don't necessarily do anything directly. Indirectly, yeah, we do.
Okay. And would you be playing any type of an active role with Laura in her treatment and her future?
I would if she would allow me to, yeah.
Okay.
How that looks, I'm not exactly sure until she returns home and is probably in a halfway house. If she would desire, I would certainly meet with her or counsel her or be accountable to me or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And so you would be a support system for Laura.
One of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And what type of support do you believe that you could provide Laura that would help her be successful in her probation and her sobriety?
Yeah, right. No, I think that would probably depend on her, but what I would offer her is one, accountability. Two, I think the first three steps of the program are all about God. She needs to understand that she can't do this on her own. And she needs to understand that we're here to serve God. And because of that and how that goes, to get her spiritually connected once again with that, so that she can move on to the other steps. And that's a key, I think, is that they have to turn their life and will over to God. And I certainly understand that and be willing to support that. If she needed further, my door is always open. And if she would want to meet regularly, weekly, whatever, I would be glad to help in that respect.
Right. What about, and this may be really kind of outside of the bounds of what you're even thinking, but what about an emergency situation? If she had an emergency, would you be there to assist her to the best of your ability, obviously?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that.
Okay. I can imagine as a pastor, you probably have done it quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
And you as her pastor, understand that if she's on probation, she will be living under some strict rules and strict guidelines.
Right.
And would you be working with her to make sure that she's successful and not violating any of those?
Oh, absolutely. I do it all the time at Job Corps. We have a lot of guys on probation. And they know the rules, and I think anybody who's on probation needs to understand that you violate those, you're going to be violated. So
right,
yeah.
And so you would contact her probation officer and hold her accountable.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And do you think it would be a good? Are you familiar with Serenity House?
I am somewhat. I've taken a few to the one in Fredericksburg, but I've never been to Abilene, so I don't know their program. I'm assuming it's similar to the one in Fredericksburg. But,
okay. Based on what you do know about it, do you believe it would be a good program for Laura to attend?
Yeah, I think so. Once again, I think that treatment centers are a good start, but it's only a start. What really because they're only there for, I don't know, what is it, 30 days or 60 days?
30, I believe.
When the rubber meets the road is when they come home.
That is correct. And then it's what's in their heart at that point, correct?
Correct.
And a good daily dose of God, as you had stated, is always a good place to start.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else that you would be able to assist Laura with, or just basic information that you feel the court should know that we haven't covered?
No, I think I think it's probably time that she needs to be back with her daughter, but with the understanding that, you're teaching your daughter some things that you don't need to be teaching her. She needs to be a mom. And that's what she needs to work. Yeah.
And if she has that in her heart, I think that's a good place for her to start as well.
Right, right. She has responsibilities, so exactly.
Okay, well, I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. You're free to leave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Absolutely.
I call
Mr.
Laura
Ferguson?
Lowry, Your Honor.
Ms. Lowry, you please raise your right hand. In the matter before the court, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you doing today, Laura?
I'm good, Brett. Thank you.
I don't need to introduce myself to you, I guess, right? Okay, well, as you know why we're here.
Yes,
And of course, the judge confirmed all of that at the beginning of the hearing.
correct.
Okay, now let's start with your criminal history, okay?
Okay.
Because the judge has read it. The judge read the PSI. You've read the PSI. We went over it together, correct?
Correct.
And we had an opportunity to discuss it, and you asked me any questions you had about the PSI, and you're fully familiar with it.
Correct.
Okay, now is there anything in there that you would like to correct that I did not already mention?
No.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you know off of the top of your head, how many times have you been convicted of a crime?
I think 5 or I think 5 or so.
Okay. And is that just felonies, or is that both felony and misdemeanor?
I think I only have 5 or 6 convictions, like total. And it was over, a lot of those were when I was a lot younger.
Okay.
I can't be certain on the number, but I do know that I have both misdemeanor and felony in the past.
Right. Well, now let me ask you, you had this history, and then there was a period of time that you did really well in your life. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you remember how long was that space of time?
Almost 5 years, 4.5 years. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I got pregnant with my daughter, and then when I had my baby, I got my life turned around. I got a job at Serenity House in Fredericksburg, and I turned it around, and I was working a program. I had my kid, I got an apartment, a car, and I did real well for myself. And I stayed sober, and I worked with others, and I was happy.
And you helped other people?
Yeah, when I was working at the treatment center, I started off as a tech, and I worked my way up to operations manager, and it was great. I did well. And
now, do you have any kind of college or post-high school education?
I do. I have some college credits, and I've been to real estate school.
Okay, and if you were to be placed back on probation, you've heard us talk a lot about the drug court program. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yes, that's what I desire. That's what I'm wanting.
And I know we've discussed it numerous times, haven't we?
That's right.
And you put together a plan for your sobriety. Is that also correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And we included that as part of the PSI.
That's right.
And I believe it's in the back part of the PSI. And you asked me to make sure that the judge paid attention to your plan that you put together.
Yes, I did. That's correct.
Yeah, make sure you answer verbally because we have a court reporter, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your plan.
Well, I want to say, like, when I was incarcerated in 2020 for the original charges, when I bonded out, and I did go to sober living, but I didn't have a plan. I just went out. But this go around, I have learned that I need to be grounded. So with the help of Serenity House and hoping that Judge Emerson grants drug court, because I feel like that the counseling, the outpatient program that is provided, the drug urinalysis test that I will be required to take, the meetings that I'll be having to go to is exactly what I need. And I've done this before. I know I can do it again. And I have a bed in sober living at Surrender with Gladys Cantu. And I believe she has written something to let them know that I have a bed there upon completion of the program. Granted, I was able to go. So if I was able to go to Serenity and return on probation and go to drug court, I would be able to be monitored by Judge Emerson to see the progress is what I wanted, because I know that I will. I wanted a shot to show him that I want to be with my kid, and I have a safe place to go, sober living that requires the meetings, and they coincide with drug court, and along with the outpatient and counseling that it provides. I think it would be very good for me, along with my other support as the church, because I've been going to church services at Zion Lutheran, and my daughter goes to Sunday school. And so I have that support system along with Serenity and then the sober living and Gladys and the girls. So that was basically the plan. And I have my family, and so that was the plan to stay on track, not just.
Let me ask about the drug court program. What is it about that is different, that is going to make you successful as opposed to regular probation?
I believe that the outpatient, the counseling in the outpatient program is what I most desired. Unresolved resentments, conflicts, unresolved issues that I was working through. One of them was, am I able to just speak about where I went wrong and how we got to get back?
Are you able to? Is that you asking me?
Yes,
You can say right now is your opportunity to tell the judge everything you want to tell him. And, you just have to be very careful about what you do say.
Yeah, it was about my.
Now, but let me ask you a question first. What is the theme for today?
Accountability.
Right. Now accountability. Is the drug court program going to hold you accountable enough to make sure that you don't fall off that wagon again?
I believe, yes. I want this. I have a 6-year-old baby that is with my parents right now, and we need each other, and I want to get this right. I want to get this right. And I just believe that if I'm able to go through these processes, that I can have the tools to encounter real life situations and have some.
Yeah, and you're there in Kerr County Jail.
Correct.
And you've been there for what, 6 or 8 months?
7 months.
7 months. And did I put together your plan for sobriety for you?
No, sir.
Did I contact Meg Miller or Serenity House?
No, sir.
Did I do any of this?
No, sir.
So how did this all get put together? This plan that has come about for your sobriety, for your success, and for the drug court program. How did that come together?
Desire.
I'm going to object at this time. In the interest of time, I believe she's already explained that she put it together and it's her desire for this.
Oh, okay. I understand your own. That's fine. I'll withdraw that question. And now the drug court program, and we've gone over what that entails. Is that also correct?
Correct.
Okay. You also have a relapse prevention plan. Is that, tell me about your relapse prevention plan.
I sat here and I wrote out for Judge Emerson what triggers me start going left. Like what is it that makes me want to use drugs and alcohol, and the symptoms leading up to it, and what I'm going to do about it when they occur, if they occur, and who I can contact and where I'm going to go, and the meetings I'm going to attend, and the people I right now have a temporary sponsor until one day, you know, I'm in the free world, I can get my permanent sponsor, and I've just kind of pinpointed what it is that makes me, you know, not stay sober, and what I'm going to do about it this time, and not blindly just hope.
Right. And now I'm going to back up a little bit, okay? You had this period of 5 years or so of sobriety, and you had your daughter in that period. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened? Why did that all get derailed?
I was working at Serenity House, and I was just plugging through life, and things were good. And one day I got the flu, and I didn't know it was the flu. And I just thought I was going to shake it off, and I was sick. And then a week later, I couldn't breathe. I had gotten pneumonia. It turned into pneumonia and MRSA, and it had wrapped around my lungs. And I was taken to San Antonio. I had a heart attack, and my lungs failed, and I was put on life support for almost 7 months, and I had a trach in my throat and almost died. And it was a long process. And after that, you know, I went to live at this rehab to learn how to walk and talk and ride all over again, all the skills, you know, at 37 years old. And I couldn't lift. I was 82 pounds and lost all my hair. It's traumatizing. When I got home, by the grace of God, you know, I had my old place and everything. I had to go live with my parents. I couldn't lift a gallon of milk. I couldn't take care of my kids. So my parents took over taking care of my kid. And everything that everything I'd worked for and turned everything around was vanished. And it's none of this excuses my behavior, but it is the reason I just spiraled out of control. And I just didn't want to live like that. I just said, forget it. And I just started using it and just getting spiraled out of control. And here we are. And I just want to get back. Before that point, I now managed to get the lungs, everything is, you know, there's a lot of damage, but I'm able to walk and exercise again, which is a big part of my treatment program, is to have exercise. I'm able to walk and some miles and do things like that again. I've got it managed and under control. With the help of my inhalers and medications and things. And I just want to go back to where I was and get my life back on track before all of this just collapsed. And, you know, none of it excuses what I've done. But it was the initial reason why I just fell off.
Okay. And your health, how, I mean, you say that you're getting better and you're able to walk, and that's part of your treatment for your physical health.
That's right.
Okay. And by maintaining your physical health, will that, and not, hopefully not ending back up in the hospital, is that something you think is going to help you not be derailed again?
It's one of the exercise is one of the most vital things in my recovery. And when I could walk and exercise, it's I don't know, it's vital for me. One of my triggers is weight gain, like being overweight or something, and it's in the mind. And so the exercise eliminates that for me. Even just like I had a membership at the Croc Center, and I walk at the track. So like that's important and part of my recovery, because it's an outlet that am able to use healthily, versus when I wasn't able to do all that, I'm just trapped.
Yeah, and now sorry. We provided the judge with a note from Dr. Maldonado. And you were seeing Dr. Maldonado for what reason?
He was on my team of doctors when I was hospitalized for, a little less than a year. He was my psychiatrist. He was, there every day for me, every day. Even though I couldn't speak or anything because I had a trach in my throat. But when I was finally released from the ICU and the rehab that I had been at for physical therapy, occupational therapy and speech therapy, I contacted him, and he's been my private psychiatrist since 2018, and I see him regularly, and he's really helped me, and he prescribes my medications and for mental health. I have depression, and I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety due to the whole incident, and he's been with me ever since. I've been with him ever since.
Okay, and are you intending to continue to seek treatment from him?
Yeah, yes, I'm still going to be his patient upon release, granted, and whenever I can. I'm still his patient. I mean, he's not letting me go or anything. He desires to help me.
So now, what about your family? We know about your daughter, and daughters are wonderful. I've had 5 myself. So tell us a little bit about your daughter.
Okay, I have a 6-year-old little girl. Her name's Harley, and she's my only kid, and I just love her so much. She just does it. She's just everything. And right now she's with my parents. I have 2. My parents are married, and they're solid family, and so she's in a good spot at the moment, and well taken care of. But she's my motivator. I don't want to live life without her. She needs me, and I need her. I talk to her almost every day, even here.
Have you discussed your plan for the future with your parents?
Yes, they know.
And are they on board with that plan?
They would like to see me get this right for the sake of our family, for myself, my daughter. They're old and tired too,
Yeah.
And they're doing my job, and
As the plan.
they know about me going, if granted Judge Emerson would allow me to do these things, yes, they are aware of it and would support that. They don't support me financially. They're not doing that. They don't, they support me emotionally and want good for me, but they're taking care of my kid, and that's, that's where they draw the line of they're not gonna enable me or support me financially. But
Right.
I have a job, so I still have my job.
So where are you working at?
When I came here, I had 2 jobs at Mamacita's and Vector Marketing. I still have both those jobs, but I am going to kind of focus more on Vector Marketing because it's an at-home job. It pays hourly and plus commission through Zoom, and I'm able to make my own hours, and I can make my schedule around meetings, drug court, granted, and all the responsibilities I'm going to have. I won't need to be, rushing in and out of trying to make a shift to Mamacita's. It would be more conducive to what I'm trying to do right now.
Right. Okay. How long do you think all of this is gonna take before you can be a full-time mom again?
Well, I know that my parents have a tight grip on my daughter and I understand why. And I am in my daughter's life. I'm there at my parents every chance that I'm not working or, you know, whatever. I'm very much a part of her life and but at this moment, they're not gonna let loose and I mean,
Right.
as to be expected, but they don't deprive me of her either. They don't deprive us of each other.
So they're allowing you to be her mother, but while doing that, they're being protective.
Correct.
And they're, in a way, that's also helping you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That helps keep that stress of being a parent off of you so that you can focus on your sobriety and your treatment.
That's right. They're
Okay.
very-
And are they a good support system for you also?
they've always been there for me. They have always, they're very good. They're very good parents. They're very good support. They're very loving.
Okay. And what do you see your future holds for you if the judge were to put you in prison?
You know, I just don't, I mean, granted, like nobody wants to go to prison, but it's not, it doesn't reap good benefits. And I really want to be there for my kid, my family. And I want to get this right. And I want to get this turned around. I just don't think it's good.
And what does your future hold for you if you're admitted into the drug court program, Serenity House, and all of those aftercare programs?
I see a lot of hope and I see a future and I've done it before. That's why I know I can do it again. And these people have really been here for me and support me and believe in me. And, you know, I believe in myself that I can do this. I want to do it. I'm tired of being here. I don't want this. I want it.
Yeah. Now, what is, now we've gone over a lot of stuff,
Right.
okay? Is there anything that you want to tell the judge, you want to say to the judge that we have not already covered or that we haven't even discussed that you feel he should be aware of or that you just want to convey to him?
I just wanted to know that I have the wholehearted desire to get my life back on track to where it was. And as I've been sitting here, Judge, in jail, I've worked with the mental health lady who's, you know, it's hard to do all the steps when you don't have a sponsor and all these things, but she has really helped me with a lot of printouts and especially a fourth step. And I've had a lot of time to sit here and really put effort into my fourth step on paper, if I can show you. So I think it's vital to do a fifth step at treatment. And I've worked the steps as best I could in here, without a sponsor, without being in the program. I just really want this for my kid and for myself. And I've done some step studies through the mail and some Bible studies, you know, that just with my recovery Bible, trying to get closer to the Lord and just do these things that I'm supposed to do. And I just ask for one shot at drug court to get this turned around. Let me show you that I can do it.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Additional witnesses, Mr. Ferguson,
No, Your Honor, we would rest at this time.
any rebuttal,
No, Your Honor.
closing arguments?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, just briefly, everything that the witnesses and Ms. Lowry have said can all be there and be effective for her when she gets out of prison. I believe that with her history of many trips to drug rehab, that none of those really stick with her, that she needs some time in the penitentiary to contemplate her actions and know that going there once, she doesn't want to go there again. I think of the lady that was mentioned in the PSI on the when she stole her credit card information while working at Mamacita's. All those things have led up to this moment, Judge, and we believe that the time has come for no more enabling, and that she should go to the pen for a considerable amount of time to where she can get sobriety in the pen and then get out and have all that support group waiting for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ferguson?
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't see drug court as an enabler for Ms. Lowry. I think it would be really good for her. I'll tell you that the time that she spent in jail has been more productive than any other client I've ever had in jail, I think. I've never seen a client work so hard at a plan to maintain her sobriety and a plan for her future that entailed going to court every week, that entails taking a drug test every week, that entails making sure that she stays on that straight and narrow, that she doesn't use drugs again, that if she starts having those desires, she's surrounding herself with people that she can go talk to prevent her from using drugs and prevent her from violating any conditions of her probation. Excuse me. Ms. Lowry has herself sat there and put together that drug court, the reasons why drug court is good for her, her relapse prevention plan and her current plan. She put all of that stuff together herself. And not only that, she is the one that contacted Serenity House. She's the one that applied for admission there. She's the one that sought out their financial assistance or funding so that she could attend there without having to worry about the funds. She's also the one that contacted Gladys with Surrender House and applied for her admission there once she has completed Serenity House. She has done everything and taken every step possible to make sure that she doesn't leave an inch for herself to fall off that wagon once she enters this program. And she did all of that on her own. A lot of times we know as attorneys, we go in and we help clients put together these programs, put together these plans so that they can come to the court and say, this is what I want to do to show you that I can be successful. Well, I had no hand in it. I literally had no hand in putting together this plan for Laura. She did it all herself. She has worked herself to the bone, her fingers to the bone, putting this together. And she is doing everything she can to move forward with her life and doesn't want to move backward any longer. She sees with COVID, everything that's happened while she was incarcerated, how dangerous it is. And it scared her. It truly scared her, especially since that pneumonia and her physical illnesses that she had when she fell off the wagon a few years ago that led her to probation in the first place. She doesn't want that to happen again. So she's very cautious about her medical history and a medical situation. She's cautious about who she's around. And I think that is one of the main things that she has to take away and carry with her is who you surround yourself with is what's going to lead to your success or demise. And right now she is really surrounding herself with the right people. Pastor Mike is well known and does a lot of good for our community. And he himself has admitted he'll be there for her daily should it be necessary. She surrounded herself with Megan Miller and Cindy Weir of Serenity House, and she had a job there and apparently did a great job. And the only thing that happened with that was her medical issue where she ended up in the hospital. So, you know, that even may be a future for her. I don't know, to treat other people that are in her position, maybe an LCDC license. I don't know if that's something she's thought about or even possible, but I think that she's a very caring person. She loves her daughter. I can't go see her without her talking about her daughter. I have an image, I've never met her daughter, but I have an image in my head. And, you know, it just always makes me think about my kids too. And to see the love in her eyes and her face when she talks about her daughter, it's amazing. I can tell that I truly believe that she is putting herself wholeheartedly into this plan, wholeheartedly into committing herself to the drug court program and being there to make sure that she is successful. And Your Honor, I really think that this is a good plan for her to go through with. You know, prison, yes, Mr. Harpole is correct. Some people just need to go to prison to open their eyes. I don't believe that's Miss Lowry's case. I believe that her eyes are open. I believe the past 7 months has helped her open her eyes already. And I don't know that prison is going to change anything where Serenity House, drug court program, surrender house, and the work that she can do in those places, that is what's going to lead to a positive change. And that's what we're going to ask for today, Your Honor, is for you to place her on probation and to continue her probation, excuse me, and place her on probation in B 3021 236 and on the drug court program, and let her come to your courtroom once a week. And I believe it's on Wednesday nights or Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. Let her come every night, every week, and show you the success that she had during the last week. And if she does that every day or every week for a year, she's going to get that positive reinforcement from you and from everyone else in the program. And it's going to make her feel good. She's going to understand that. And that's what's going to make her successful. It's not threats of demise. It's the praise for doing good. And that positive reinforcement, I can't tout it enough. And that, I think, is where she's going to get it, Your Honor, is from your courtroom every Wednesday night or whatever night it is you meet in the drug court program through Serenity House and those positive people she's surrounding herself with. So that's what we're asking, Your Honor, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ferguson. Ms. Lauer, do you have anything else to say prior to sentencing?
I just want to say thank you for hearing everything today, and I have an amazing opportunity with these people. If you will allow that, I will show you that I can do right, and I'd like to show you that I can do this. And I just appreciate you hearing everything.
Thank you, Ms. Lowry.
Thank you, sir.
Couple of things. First off, the drug program's been in effect for almost 3 years now, and I wish you would have applied for it way before now. It could have benefited you early on before you got in trouble.
That's right.
Okay. Now, that being said, there's some issues. Mr. Harpole talked about opening your eyes. Mr. Ferguson talked about opening your eyes. You know, frankly, your eyes should have been opened when you held Harley in your arms when she was born. That should have been your wake-up call, and it wasn't. You've gotten in a whole lot of trouble since your child came along. It hadn't slowed you down much. You have 20 arrests, you have 14 convictions, you have 6 failed probations. You know, your track record is horrible, just to be blunt. You have multiple theft charges, and you have a new theft indictment that you were just indicted for yesterday on another credit card fraud. B21-236, the court is going to find evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, will enter a finding of guilt, will order you confined in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice State Jail Division for a period of 2 years. B19-809, court will find evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to enter a finding of true to the state's motion to proceed, will adjudicate you on the underlying offense of credit card abuse against an elderly individual enhanced. On B21-15, the court will find evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to enter a finding of true to the state's motion to proceed, will adjudicate you on the underlying offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, to wit 400 to 200 grams of methamphetamine. On B19-809 and B20-115, on each of those, will order you confined in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of 10 years. All three of those will run concurrent with each other. When you parole out, Ms. Lowry, I hope you apply yourself to your child. Your child deserves to have a loving mother. Your child deserves to have a mother that's free of drugs. Your child deserves to have a mother that can take care of her in the future. And frankly, your parents deserve to be grandparents, not parents. So I wish you the very best. Do you have any questions, Ms. Lowry?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All parties are excused.
Laura, I will try and come out this afternoon and see you. Just depends on what time I get done with court today, okay?
Okay, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay. When he comes out, you can ask him.
Yeah, the court has other things they've got to deal with, okay?
Okay,
All right, I'll be out there.
okay.
Okay, we'll see you later.
All right, this time the court will conclude the Zoom hearing.